Episode 3 of our 5-part Kawhi Leonard series will feature his step back jumper, starting with his nudge step back jumper. A nudge is when you use your inside shoulder, your inside hip, and your foot to get under with your hips and up with your shoulder to create more separation from your primary defender. So you can see Marcus Smart right here is trying to jam Kawhi Leonard up right here with his inside hand and get into his body. So he's not allowing space. So you have to create more separation by using your shoulder and your hips to nudge your primary defender. And then he's going to load off his inside foot to a step back jumper. Watch right here. He's going to use his shoulder and his hips to go under and up. He's going to load off his inside foot and create separation for his jumper. Watch on this example how once again he's going to load off his inside foot to create separation away from his defender by using his body. He's the best in the NBA at using his inside shoulder to nudge his defender and to bump his primary defender off his spot like he does right here. You can see his inside shoulder gets into the primary defender's body to create that extra separation to allow for his jumper to get off. Watch again here how he does it going to his right hand now. We've seen examples of him going left. Now watch right. He's going to use his inside shoulder here to bump off Karl-Anthony Towns. He's going to load off his inside foot and then create separation, get on balance, and recline away from his primary defender for a jumper. You can see right here he even uses it on a transition rip. When he starts to post up, he's going to nudge his primary defender right there with his shoulder and using his hips to get under and up. He's going to load off his inside foot, get away from his defender's arm for a reclined step back jumper. He is so good at using his shoulders and his hips to get into the body of his primary defender. Watch this one from the playoffs a couple years ago. He's going to attempt to get outside his hips. He starts to drive straight line. He uses his shoulder right there to bump his primary defender. He's going to load off that inside foot, create separation for a fadeaway shot at the baseline. Starts to drive. You can see his inside shoulder right here. He's going to nudge his primary defender. Look at his inside foot right here. He's going to load off of, create that separation, get right to the elbow. He's always going to get to his spot, just like we saw in the fade series. Once again, excellent job of getting into the body with using his shoulder to bump his primary defender off their line to get to his spot. Now on his lunge step back jumper, he has the space. So he's going to load off his inside foot. Ball and opposite foot hit at the same time with that long lunge you can see right here with his inside foot. His shoulders are over his knees for power. His hips are dropped. He's attacking that front foot of his defender. He's going to bring the ball to his opposite hip and go right into his shooting pocket. He's keeping it protected. And now he's getting on balance to shoot his fadeaway recline jumper. You can see he's going to attack quickly that top side foot right here, that front foot. He's going to load off that inside foot of his, create separation, and there's no way his defender can get back to contest that shot. You can recognize that Kawhi's always going to get away from the chest of his primary defender. So you can see right here, he's going to get away from his chest because his primary defender then has to take an extra step to contest his shot. And that's all he needs to get his fadeaway off from his step back jumper. Now, once you've done a step back a couple times, you can get somebody with your fake step back, basically your 1-2 hezzy. So you can see right here, he's going to load off that inside foot. His outside foot's now going to plant. His inside hand comes over like he's going to pick it up to shoot that step back jumper. He's going to hezzy and then he's going to beat his defender outside his hips. Now we have his step back shot fake right into a step through. So he's going to load off that inside foot to a step back jumper. His defender, you can see, jumps, so he shot fakes. Now he's going to step through with that second foot right here, that outside foot, and shoot a little leaner right at the rim. He's going to get outside his hips of his primary defender. Step back, his defender is going to jump and try to contest his step back. So you can see he's going to step through with his outside foot right into a leaner.